Heading into the 2017 Royal Rumble, we have some high-octane matches, new Royal Rumble match participants, and a huge women's feud, championship gold match, and, well, an intriguing match for an up-and-coming star for Smackdown Live. Who walks out victorious in this week's edition? Well, we're going to cover all this and more in this week's edition of the Smackdown ReBound. Hello everybody, my name is Connor, aka OKayFabe, and welcome guys back to another edition of the Smackdown ReBound right here on OneWrestling.com. Of course, One Wrestling Video's YouTube channel. We're going to cover everything and anything pertaining to this week's edition of Smackdown Live. Of course, you guys know who I am. I'm Connor, aka that almost hurt. KayFabe, your official Smackdown Live video correspondent for One Wrestling and OneWrestling.com. Video YouTube channel. I can't breathe. Like, I really need to, we need to find, a title that's, just a little shorter. Just a little bit. Just not, to feel like it's this and just needs, Smackdown guy. Hey, let's do it. Hashtag Smackdown guy. Anyway, guys, I want to take this time to once again thank you guys for tuning into this week's edition of the show, and make sure you give the entire OneWrestling.com family the same love that you guys give me here each and every single week. Make sure you check out all the links for the entire social media, including myself at OKayFabe, where I live tweet during the shows. And, of course, check out my YouTube channel. Links are all in the description box below, including the official social media of not only myself, everyone at One Wrestling, including Billy Ray Valentine, Big Ray, and, of course, the legendary, the iconic one himself, Mr. Bill Apter. You can follow all their social media, again, links down in the description box below. Make sure you leave your thoughts in the comment section and tell me what you guys thought of this week's SmackDown. And make sure you subscribe and hit that like button, because guess what? Likes are free. And you know what? Who doesn't love free stuff, right? Seriously. I mean... Well, Ted DiBiase was a little different. I mean, he liked gaining it. I mean, did you see that championship belt? I'm getting off topic. Point being, let's cover SmackDown this week. Things kick off with the return of the Ambrose Asylum with none other than the new host and the new Intercontinental Champion, the one and only Lunatic Fringe, Dean Ambrose. Ambrose entered himself officially into the 2017 Royal Rumble match. Ambrose even had, something new because he was in Baton Rouge, Louisiana, had a prop crocodile head and even named it Maurice. I shouldn't laugh at that. I shouldn't laugh at that. That is horrible. That is vulgar. That is pretty funny. Just throwing that out there. Of course, Miz and Maurice came out, and Miz, of course, also entered himself into the 2017 Royal Rumble. He did build it up for a little bit, so I was a little concerned that he was actually going to add Maurice into the Royal Rumble match itself. But anyway, of course, Miz wanted to do right and wanted justice to be served and demand that Dean Ambrose do the right thing and surrender the Intercontinental Championship back to him. Of course, Ambrose said, listen, I'll give you exactly, I have something of yours that you definitely need back, and he gives him a Miz Participation Award. Of course, Miz attacks Dean Ambrose and holds up Dean Ambrose to be slapped by Maurice, but unfortunately for her, Dean Ambrose ducked out of the way. Miz gets the slap instead, and a dirty deeds by Dean Ambrose. Dean Ambrose smilingly with a giant thumbs up, then gives that same participation award to Maurice. Hey, at least you tried. Very curious to see where things go, but really very more interested in the fact that now we have two more participants from SmackDown in the Royal Rumble match. Those of you keeping track so far, Baron Corbin we have in the Royal Rumble match from SmackDown Live, and of course Dean Ambrose now and The Miz, Undertaker, New Day, Chris Jericho, Seth Rollins, Braun Strowman, and of course the two big behemoths Goldberg and Brock Lesnar round up the Royal Rumble so far. I think it's going to be probably one of the best Royal Rumble matches we've ever seen, at least in some time. And of course, I want to hear you guys' thoughts down in the comment section below. Who do you think is going to win the Royal Rumble matchup? Now we go into this next matchup that was supposed to be Nikki Bella versus Natalya to continue the rivalry over the fact that Natalya took out Nikki Bella at Survivor Series. But lo and behold, didn't quite work out that way. Of course, Natalya attacking Nikki before the matchup. The match, well, never even started. Yes, the two women brawled out through the entire outside area. Unfortunately for Nikki Bella, Natalya ended up locking in the sharpshooter outside the ring. The match never actually happened. You can look, but you can't touch. No one told Natalya that. This is why you don't mess with a heart. You could say that someone ended up with a broken heart. I'm sorry. Puns. Swish. Okay, I'm done. Cool. Moving on, Dolph Ziggler versus Kalisto. Now, we tried to get an interview with Dolph Ziggler beforehand asking, what is with his attitude change? What the hell is going on with him? Why did he attack Kalisto after Kalisto helped save him? And why did he headbutt Apollo Crews? I'm not saying it wasn't cool, it's just really weird. Of course, Ziggler did something that he never has done before. He kept silent. During the matchup, it was fantastic, high-flying, high-octane action that you would expect from both Dolph Ziggler and Kalisto. However, with a quick roll-up win Kalisto actually gets the victory over Dolph Ziggler. And this, well, doesn't really sit well with Dolph Ziggler, ending up attacking Kalisto not just with his bare hands, but also with a steel chair following the matchup. Apollo Crews come out to make the save, even though Kalisto had already been laid out at the ring. And unfortunately meets the same fate by Dolph Ziggler. So it looks like they're continuing the whole idea of Dolph Ziggler still being upset and frustrated with the fact that he keeps losing, on top of which it looks like they're pointing in the direction of a possible matchup down the road between Dolph Ziggler and Apollo Crews, which I'm all 120% for. I love me some Apollo Crews, and I think that definitely the first major rivalry that Apollo Crews should have on the main roster is with Dolph Ziggler. I think this is a great opportunity for Ziggler to explore some new rivalries and new feuds with wrestlers that we haven't quite seen yet, and also, like I was just mentioning, at the same time giving up-and-coming opportunities for new people to really shine on SmackDown, which is one of the key reasons I love me the blue brand. So let me know what you guys think about the possibility of Apollo Crews versus Dolph Ziggler as well too. Now we move on to the tag team title match. Bray Wyatt and Randy Orton of the Wyatt family against American Alpha. So much action and craziness from this matchup. Luke Harper got involved in the apron, distracting Orton long enough to get distracted to allow American Alpha to get the win. More dissension from the Wyatt family. But before I get to the actual ending of the whole thing and the intriguing escapades afterwards, the matchup itself was absolutely fantastic. Got to give props and praise, of course, to the fractured family of Bray Wyatt and Randy Orton, Luke Harper, and of course American Alpha, who ultimately walked out and still your SmackDown Tag Team Champions. I love everything about this because it serves so many great purposes. The match itself was actually, c'est magnifique. Gave it plenty of time, which is a big thing that I was concerned of, is that, you know, giving matches opportunity to really grow and give them the chance to really, you know, showcase their skills, and they definitely did so in this matchup. Now, as I mentioned, the finish was kind of funky where Luke Harper goes for a distraction. Randy Orton hits the DDT on, I believe it was Chad Gable, but unfortunately took out Harper. Harper distracted Orton long enough to allow Chad Gable to get a quick roll-up victory and again retain the tag team titles. Once again, we saw some dissension between Luke Harper and Randy Orton. A lot of fans chanting RKO, RKO. So I thought we were going to see someone drop by an RKO, but no. Out of all people, the Peacemaker himself, Bray Wyatt, got in between the two Titans once again, but ultimately got a super kick from Luke Harper in the mouth and whispered something to both Randy Orton and Luke Harper. So it looks like we might see the beginning of the end for the Wyatt family, but I love how it's not quite over yet. I'm really curious to see where exactly things are going to go from there. Now, here's the other interesting news for next week. Backstage, we saw Becky Lynch and Alexa Bliss argue with Daniel Bryan about the whole La Luchadora thing, the SmackDown Women's Championship. So finally, Daniel says, fine, next week, Alexa Bliss, you will once again defend your SmackDown Women's Championship against Becky Lynch. But to make sure there's no La Luchadora hunky-faroo, which is apparently a word I just made up, we're going to do it inside a steel cage. First time ever on SmackDown Live, a women's match and a women's championship match inside a steel cage. Oh, boy. I could use me a cup of that in my morning coffee. I can't wait to see Becky Lynch and Alexa Bliss battle it out once again inside a steel cage. Their matches have been fantastic so far. Adding a steel cage really just revs it up. I love the old school. I love the use of the steel cage. I feel like steel cages aren't properly utilized. So putting on next week's SmackDown, c'est magnifique. We see Carmella. Speaking of women, we see Carmella taking on a local woman. Poor JB, I mean, the poor woman, I felt so bad because JBL was just taking shot after shot after shot after shot against her on commentary. It was just, poor woman. Anyway, of course, this is just continuing. The James Ellsworth is with Carmella at ringside. Carmella, of course, picking up the win pretty quickly after Ellsworth helped grab the woman's foot outside the ring, but nobody saw that. Apparently, they're going on a shopping spree next week. I really don't know what that's going to entail. Does that entail a new chin? Does anybody know if that's plastic, like a, well, if he goes to a Halloween shop, I'm not, I know it's January. You're missing my point. Anyway, main event time, John Cena against Baron Corbin, a match that I was really looking forward to, and I loved everything about this. Corbin looked fantastic, despite the fact that John Cena got the ultimate victory in a very quick and decisive fashion, I must say. Baron Corbin looked like $1 million, which at the end of the day was really what really mattered in my opinion. Not to say that John Cena's victory over Baron Corbin was incredible. We saw AJ Styles at commentary, but to me, more so than anything else, the fact that Baron Corbin looks like, and rightfully so, can hang with the big boys. His match with John Cena, much like his matches we've seen recently on SmackDown, including that triple threat match for the WWE Championship with AJ and Dolph Ziggler, just solidified me that the fact that Baron Corbin definitely deserves the spot that he's being in, the spotlight that he's been given. I can't wait to see what we're going to get from Baron Corbin in 2017. I got some crazy predictions about what they're going to do with Baron Corbin, but I might save that for another time. Overall, this SmackDown was really intriguing. Again, they built 3 great matches from last week's show, developing into this week's, which, of course, in my opinion, was great. They didn't really blow off any major rivalries or feuds, which getting into the Royal Rumble season and again into the road to WrestleMania, I think, is a very, very smart move. Again, the Wyatts continue their dissension, or at least looks like they're continuing their dissension, but we didn't see anything happen with them officially yet. They're still together. They're a little pissed, but they're still just... It's like after Thanksgiving or after Christmas when you get the crappy gifts. It's just... it's tension, but it's not the end. It's not quite the end yet. We're definitely going to see more between Natalya and Nikki Bella, and of course Becky Lynch, Alexa Bliss, steel cage match next week. I can't wait to see what's going to happen with that one. Miz and Dean Ambrose, of course, continuing their rivalry, both entering themselves into the Royal Rumble matchup. Again, it's just kind of furthering things along, but at the same time, keeping interest week to week, which I definitely think is a key success for the Blue brand. So I'm all for this week's SmackDown, but guys, it's time to get your voices heard. You guys chime in. What did you guys think of this week's SmackDown? Did you guys enjoy the main event? Are you looking forward to next week's show? What do you think about the whole Wyatt dissension? And, of course, your thoughts on the Royal Rumble match itself, too. Let me know your thoughts. I love to hear them down in the comment section, or hit me up over on the Twitter at OKayFabe and Facebook.com/OKayFaber. But make sure you give the same love to the entire OneWrestling.com family over on the social media. Links are all down in the description box below for myself, Big Ray, Billy Ray Valentine, everyone over at the PW Hustle, everyone over at Big Slam Nation, Sunday Segue, and, of course, the legendary, the iconic Mr. Bill Apter. Thank you guys again for watching another edition of the Smackdown ReBound right here on One Wrestling and OneWrestling.com videos YouTube channel. Make sure you hit that subscribe button for more awesome content from everyone here at One Wrestling. And of course, hit that like button because that shows me that you like it. It's pretty apparent. It's the easiest correlation between me thinking that you like it and knowing that you like it. That was a little too obvious, but I think you guys get my point. Anyway, thank you guys again for watching. Appreciate the continued love and support. And to quote the legendary, the iconic Mr. Bill Apter, we will see you at the matches.